swear you're able to show, right? Yeah.
I'm not so sure if I want to be broadcast.
You don't want to be focused? That's fine. So, able enough. This is fun. Yeah. Do you? That's all. That's good. Actually,
All right.
yeah, you're real. That's fake. You're fake. Yeah. Okay. Good. Everybody say hi. Okay. Good. Let's start. Okay. Good. How are you? How are you so far? Good. Yeah. Final exam is going on, right? Yeah. So let's before we start, let's talk about next week, our final exam. So be quiet, right? Today be quiet, otherwise we'll have other class have a final exam, right? Where we push out on time. So next week, your final exam will be team basis, okay? Same team. So I'm going to give you a case which can be, Walmart, can be Amazon, can be Netflix, can be 7-Foot, you don't know yet. You can find that. And I also give you a small data set, only 200 row, yeah, and real data set. So you are as a team, I'll give you, I try to simulate the real time, okay? I'll give you 9 o'clock. You need to submit your report at what? 5, 9 to 5, right? That's most of the company working 8 hours, okay? And this exam was done by previous class 2 hours, so you don't worry about time.
I'm worried about it because
You worry about other course, right? But in my time, you must be here on time. But 2 hours is there, yeah.
but I'm not comparing myself to other groups.
Yeah, so that's fine. So that's why I give you 8 hours, lot of time. So you will answer 7 questions of mine. Basically, review your project. Okay. Number 1, what's that strategy, that policy this company should do? Which is your assignment? What? Yes, you remember. Yeah. Assignment 1. The second question regarding what's CRISPR process to do business analysis, right? I'm going to show. You remember CRISPR process? CRISPR, yeah. The third question about SQL, yeah. Everybody did very well, right? SQL, right? Now exam time. So you will do some inquiry about this data set, right? So I have 4 small questions to want your answer. You just write a SQL statement, okay? And number 4 question regarding, Tableau, data visualization. How many steps in your assignment 3? 8 steps. You missed 10 bucks. So 8 steps. You will do some. One of you must be focused on the right on the TV or 2. And this is number 4. Number 5. What's your key method? Class 3. This data set, right? Yeah. This is you're going to present 2, right? Then what's 2 class 5, which is number 6 question. Number 7, what's your finding? What's your advice to the CEO of the company after you do the analysis work? Right? You have to find what's inside about the data. Yeah? Very similar to what you have done, present today. Am I right? Except SQL. That's how to do that. So you have 8 hours. Okay, you can come here. You can do whatever, your home or Starbucks. So I will email to you 9 o'clock Friday morning. You will submit 5 o'clock. Yeah, they'll have a nice dinner celebration. It's clear for final exam, team basis. Yeah, 20%. Okay, good. So great. So this today's show times. Okay, so you have five team, right? 5 team. Yeah. So try to control your time 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Okay, and
You said 20 minutes.
well, 20, yeah, should be fine. You will do very well, yeah, because I don't want to disrupt the next exam. 20 minutes should be fine, but try to do within 50 minutes percent. Basically, just show me, yeah. What's this problem to this solve? What's data? Okay, question not one. What's TV tableau work you show me? Yeah, number 2. Number 3, what's your KME method? What's airball? Yeah, what's K equal? Then how do you interpret it? Number 3, right? Number 4, what do you 2 classifications? Just get the points. Yeah, then what do you find here? Very simple. To me, 5 minutes. Yeah, right? So you have to show very clearly. Yeah. Okay. So when the percent, they will be quiet. Okay, it's a learning opportunity because if you most likely you will have this kind of job, right? Opportunity for you, pay you $100,000. I think you should apply. Well, are you prepared already or not? This is part of the preparation. This can be job from Netflix. This job from Amazon. This job can be Walmart. Now you're learning. Other team has done fantastic work for you, right? Yeah. Share with you. You learn from them, right? So you prepare. It's part of the learning process. So after that, after present, you have one question to ask. I encourage you. Each of you should have a question to ask. Okay? And I will have a question. Then you evaluate this team. Okay? So I'm going to go to your course portal, week 9 and 10. Right? Go to your course portal right now. Yeah? And then you can find team 1 waiting for your evaluation. Each of you must evaluate, right? Because I know who are not. You will get a class participation grade done if you don't do that. Yeah? And because we are training you as a professional manager or business leader, I assume you are very professional. Yeah? Then you evaluate the grade for evaluation for this team, right? And as a manager, right? Never show your favoritism. Doesn't hate anybody, right? You have to be objective. Otherwise, you are no follow. Yeah. And when I do summarize the result, I will remove highest grade out. Remove lowest grade out, right? Doesn't waste your time, doesn't waste my time. Yeah. Just be objective as possible. Use your own judgment, right? You are the professor right now. Yeah. And you contribute almost 40 to 50% of your final grade. But then you fail it because of what you remove. You will be, you might check it. Everything you have to be perfect, right? There's something wrong. Okay? So you are not ready yourself because I know that, right? You ready yourself 100%. Okay, is it clear, right? So after team 1 presentation, you should evaluate them right away. For those to next team, for example, team 2, you should evaluate immediately. Yeah, then you will prepare for your next one in order to save time. Make sure each of the team have 2 computer ready. Just one of the connection wrong, you can have a second computer. Okay, identical, right? For the presentation slide and the demo thing. Okay. Any question before we start? Any question?
Just a clarification for the evaluation, so we can find it on week 9 and 10.
Week 9 and 10, yeah. Team 1. Can you see that? On the team, I see the week 10.
Here. One with the
Behind the team 10, week 10, right? Yeah. Team 1, you play team 1, then team 2, 6, and 5. Okay? So you have about 10 questions. Okay. Okay, without the further ado, let's work on team 1. Okay? Everybody quiet. Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon. We're going to present Netflix. Our team is component for Rushida, Danushka, Shakila, Paola, Dylan, and myself. Sure. We're going to move forward to see what's Netflix. It's a platform that we can stream and see movies, TV shows, all type of content. A brief recap. In 1997 is when Netflix was born. In the beginning, they were shipping the CDs to the customers. It was only one time, like one at a time. So they watched the video, they watched the movie, and then just ship it back. They were in perfect conditions, so it was working really good. In 1999, they got the monthly subscription. So you do not pay for per individual per DVD, you pay just for monthly, and you can have as many DVDs as you want. It's unlimited. Then we move forward on May 2002 is when they get in the stock market. So whenever they get more positioning in the market, okay? 2007 is when they become streaming, which means no physical DVD was required for you to enjoy the movies and the TV shows. In this case, you can just open the website, choose whatever you like, pay your membership, and there you go. You can create profiles for all the family, and it can be personalized depending on what you're choosing, the type of movies, and the gender. Go ahead. Okay, in 2010, they become, because this company was based in California, in the States. So in 2010, they moved to Canada. 2012, they start to worldwide. Here we can see how it has been increasing and growing. So the blue is the presence in the US, and the black is the presence on the rest of the world. By 2012, there were 130 countries present. 2015, they got on the top of the highest. So what we're analyzing is to see the data and how well we can present some options to Netflix to analyze which genders are the top drivers for the consumers. So Netflix can take a decision based on what the consumer's preference wants to watch in movies and shows. So now Dylan is going to continue with the methodology.
Hello class. So let me take you guys through the data set what we use for our analysis, right? So this is a data set which is related to the performance of the movies and TV shows of Netflix. And we obtain the Netflix from Okay, sorry for the technical issue guys. Okay, so we obtained the data set from the Kaggle, a reliable site, and this particular data set includes the data collected in July 2022 from US region. And approximately, guys, I would like to say that the cleaning process that we use for the data set, so we clean the data set in order to remove all the inaccuracies and all the inconsistencies. So finally, we dealt with 5,489 rows and 15 columns for analysis in this particular data set. And these are the independent and dependent variables which we use for analysis. You all can see in the independent variables, we have the name of the title, whether it's a TV show or a movie, year of release, the runtime or the length of the movie, and then production country and the genre type, the type of the movie, whether it's a romance, war, documentary, sports, whatever. Right. So next one is the dependent variable, guys. So this is where we have captured the performance of the movie, the IMDb score, in the Internet Movie Database, and then IMDb votes, TMDB score, and then TMDB popularity. Okay. Right. So let me move on. Okay. Right. So this is the objective of our analysis. As we clearly stipulated in the problem statement, we are going to show you guys how Netflix can play around with the independent variables to release movies and TV shows which can perform very well in the IMDb score, which can drive the profitability of the company. So that's what we are going to reveal throughout the presentation, guys. So be with us, we'll show our findings. So next, Tanushka will take you guys through the analysis what we have done using Tableau, the visualization of the data set. Tanushka, it's over to you.
Hi all. Actually, this is how we are running the data visualization part using Tableau. First of all, we have divided the data set into popularity and the scores. This is how we visualize that, and it is clear that we can see that the movies have the, both popularity and the score rates. Here we have summarized the data, the TMDB popularity, IMDb score, and TMDB score versus release year. In the first graph, we can see that for both movies and shows, there's an increasing trend up to 2022. For both second and third graphs, there's an increased trend up to 2019 for both movies and shows. After that, after 2019 to 2022, there's a decreased trend. This is how we categorize the data versus production country. It is clear that the US productions was the most popularity and most scores granted for the US productions. For considering about analyze previous three slides, we can say that the movies have the more popularity and the higher ratings than shows. After that, we have divided the data set into genres. So here we can say that for both movies and shows, there's high rates for the comedies, dramas, and the action movies. So here we have divided the data set. We have considered the average scores, which was granted both movies and shows. Since there is a similarity between movies and shows, but after finalizing the data, we can say that for the movies have the more average score rather than shows. So this is how we have generated our data set for our problem statement. I'll hand over the presentation to Shakila for the K-mean clustering.
Hi, I will show you how we use K-mean clustering, which is an unsupervised machine learning technique for the Netflix dataset. So here are the steps that we follow for this purpose. And so when we first use that Netflix data, what we have done is that we use not the number, that mean data set mean like qualitative data, we remove that from the data set because K-mean clustering only for the quantitative data. So we use IMDb scope and also that runtime as variables here. And also then we got this ergo method because we here that I can show you that we use optimal number of clusters as 3 in this graph. That means that there may be other clusters, but that doesn't affect for the K-mean clustering significantly. Then thereafter we use this ergo method K is equal to 3, and we done that K-mean performance, and then
How
for the
did you
interpretation.
get this ergo graph?
So we use language Python, and you use ChatGPT for coding.
Good.
So this is K is equal to 3, and we use that for the K-mean performance. And then for further analyzing and visualization, we use Seaborn's count plot and scatter plot, and also we use group mean for the interpretation. So for the findings, that is the most important part. This time will take you through the findings.
After finding the K-mean, we put it into a bar chart, and as we found the K-mean clusters is 3, there are 3 clusters, 0, 1, and 2. We put it into x-axis, and then to the y-axis we put the number of movies and TV shows, count of the number of movies and TV shows. And here we can see that this is the highest number of count for the movies and TV shows. It's around 2,153. And here also in the scatter plot, in here there is a wider spread in blue color, and in green color there's a tighter spread. So in a scatter plot, if the spread is tight, we believe it is the strong relationship. So here we found this green color is the stronger relationship between runtime and the IMDb score.
So how do you interpret that color, the green color? What does it mean to your manager? Go back to
Green
the
color,
yeah.
sorry,
Whatever color, the yellow color. What does it mean?
it has some tight spreads here and also a wider spreads here. So the best one is this one, the category is
You need to interpret the business, yeah? So which you divide all Netflix movie into 3 groups, right? So what does it mean by group,
Yeah,
right?
in this runtime, with the runtime and the IMDb score, the strongest relationship is within this green color area because the highest number of IMDb score is in the green color and the lowest runtime is there in green color area.
They also indicated more money, make more money for this one movie, the green one.
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah. I'm manager, I only care who's big money, yeah?
Yeah, okay, in here we found, there are the findings here. So as you can see, the mean runtime and the IMDb score in the class number 0 it's 89.1 runtime and the IMDb score is 4.9, and there in the class number 2 it has the least number of runtime, it's 41.9 and the IMDb score is 7.1. So here we can see that if the runtime is lower, the IMDb score goes to higher. So the insight from cluster number 2 is there is a high demand for movies and TV shows if the runtime is lower, and then it get the IMDb score effect more in that when the runtime is lower.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pass Milan to talk about the other parts.
Okay, so how did we use the logistic regression for our data set? So that's what I'm going to take you guys through. So we mainly considered 3 independent variables and we analyzed the data set using the logistic regression. So one fact is whether the product is a movie or a TV show. The second one is the runtime, and third one is the genre time. And the dependent variable which we took to measure the performance is going to be IMDb score. Right? And based on the IMDb score, we have identified 2 levels of performance of the movies. If the IMDb score is between 1 to 5, because normally the length of the IMDb score is 1 to 10. So if it is 1 to 5, we say it's not performing well. So that's how we check that. So then from 5.1 to 10, it's a good performance, right? So this is how we are going to analyze, the data set under these 3 aspects by using these performance levels. Let me move into the first aspect. The first aspect, the logistic regression for movie or a show. So this is kind of a broad, I would say it's a high-level analysis. Next, we'll get into the nitty-gritties. So the overall goodness is 66% of the model. This is the business case, guys. So the prediction results, what we predicted. So more or less the success rate. So it means this shows that movie or a TV show is getting into the probability of getting into the good performance category. So you all can see always TV shows are like more popular. So there is a 95% of the chance that movie will earn you more money and get into the high score in the IMDb score. That show has a high probability than the movie, but they are more or less same, right? So we cannot get into a very good business decisions only based on this analysis. Let me get into the next nitty-gritties, right? So next one. So that is based on the runtime. This is interesting, guys. Now y'all can see how we have categorized the runtime. So we have identified 3 main categories. If the length of the movie or the show is between 1 minute to 60 minutes, it's a short runner. 61 to 120, it's average. And then, beyond 120, it's lengthy run, right? So now see the prediction results, right? So I think in the K-means also, we proved this fact. If it is a short runner, right, there is a 94% of the chance that movie can get into the high IMDb score, right? So Netflix should focus on the short runners, but average it's not that good, guys. It's just 87%. So it says that spectators are not very, they are not very attracted for the average one between 61 to 120. Either you have to keep it like below 60, short movie, or keep it lengthy, huge. It's kind of a lengthy film. Okay, so next we'll move on to the next one. So based on the genre type, guys, we have identified 18 different genres to identify the performance of the movies. And you all can see again the goodness of the analysis is 78%. See this result, guys, the prediction results. This is the business case. Now, even though you have everything, see the horror movies. The success rate is just 67% of getting into a high IMDb score, right? And even realities are not that good compared to the others. Guys, just see sports. Everyone likes sports, right? So 100%, whatever the sports movie release or whatever the sports show release, there is a 100% chance that will get into the high IMDb score. So which runs the profitability of the company. And even people love war. It's not good, but people love war. And music movies as well. So interesting, this is the business case, guys. So next, Paula will talk about how we have used SVM in our dataset analysis.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about support machine. The purpose of this classification model is identify between movie and show what is the most popular according with the information available. We choose the pen variable movie and show, and pen variable score both on popularity with the EMDB score. This is the predictions with the variables in a score over 6 equals 1, under 6 equals 0, and both over 14 equals 1, and under 14 equals 0, and popularity is the same. To process the data, I use ExoSLab, select standardization, and use linear channels to classify per forms. The valid sample was 1,050 observations taken right. As a result, the overall accuracy was 1943. The high accuracy was movie, and the process gives me an ROC graph with AOC of 0.9, according with the main purpose of the analysis. We can suggest that movie is much most popular than TV shows. Now, Charlene is going to continue with the presentation.
All right, so as a conclusion, we can say that drama, comedy, and action are the top drivers in movies. Whenever it's a movie inside of the 60 minutes, it's most likely to attract people and the spectators because they don't like to watch a long movie. They lost the interest. Something is quite like just enough, it should be fine. And we also realize whenever the horror movies, it's most likely that people prefer to have a show order rather than a movie because we see that it's in the bottom of the list for this gender. We really appreciate you guys, your attention, and this opportunity.
Good job, good job, good job. Yeah, this is very interesting. Every class has done this, study on the Netflix movie. And so there's more question for you. Okay, so you guys done all this required work. Congratulations, you passed 60. But we want to get it to more grade for you. So regarding TV work, yeah, this to me is a global data set. And why did we use the map to show each of the country performance? Have you tried it?
Yeah, actually, we have tried it, but in the data set, we can't actually find how there's only US, JP like that. So we were unable to find the actual when we go to the when we upload the data set into the Tableau.
Yeah.
It didn't mention it's in the clear.
Oh, you show me Japan. You have to show the
yeah,
your
it's mentioned
country,
as
right?
JP, US like that.
Well, you need to label that, right? So this is Japan, this is US. I should show you Japan, US global map. Okay? You see that this map is a very important visualization for such data set. Okay? Okay, the second question regarding your two classification. You guys need to concentrate, right? Yeah. It's kind of a learning for you. This team has done good work, right? It's time for you to learn. So this is good for you. Final exam too. When you talk about classification method, right? We discussed 6 of them. Each of them I give you a formula, right? So you have to specify, your formula. The formula is y equal f x, right? Function. X is an independent variable, right? So we learned 6 of the classification, and one of the key method, right? You use airball, it's fine. So for each of that method, you select for your project and the final exam, you need to lay out what's your function, what's your formula, right? So that is required for your final exam. And for example, a question for you is a logistic regression. Can you remember how to write down a logistic regression?
No problem. I can't remember the formula because I did that at least by using Excel stats.
Why you need to, everybody, you got a mom can do it too, right? You need to talk something, get to the point, yeah? You need to write down the formula of the regression, which is 1 divided by E XV. Okay? Right? You have to clearly understand it, okay? So Y, basically, you have two categories. One is 0, one is 1, right? Yeah? Depending on the score. So how many X have you used? Independent variable.
Independent, I always use from just one variable. I took it as binomial. I took one variable at a time and with the dependent variable.
So how many of you have you used?
I use 3 runtime, whether it's a movie or a show.
Runtime, okay.
Yeah, and then the job time.
Okay. Runtime. What else?
Whether it's a movie or a show.
Movie or show.
Yeah, right of the product.
Okay. I don't know, you have your team discuss this? This is upwards something very naive, yeah? Which movie will be success? That's a main factor. Yeah? You can ever love movie, right? What are major variable determine this movie have good hit? No? Yeah, this is good. Sure. Perfect. What else?
Rating.
What that?
Rating of the
Reading?
rating.
Rating is after. Yeah? This is the type of rating. One, what else? Yeah?
Actors.
The actor, actress, the directors. Yeah? Let's say more than that, yeah? You cannot just use these 3 things to determine which is good or not good movie.
The analysis,
The result cannot be biased.
the analysis was much more gender, was looking at top performance. We didn't analyze which title of the movie or which country was like in the whole board of Netflix.
Yeah.
Rather top drivers in the gender related.
Yeah.
That's why it is like that. Because it doesn't matter the actors, the directors, it matters the movies, shows, and the gender.
And the country too, yeah? Some movie in which country is good. So basically, my argument, your variable is not, it's incomplete. Just depend on your business sense, yeah? Which movie will be big hit? You are going to make a movie, you want money, right? You have to convince me, oh, just say every time I show a movie is good, yeah? Are you convincing you like show a movie or not movie? Doesn't matter, actually. You know, as long as the movie is good, right? I love long movie, yeah? Right? And this is the topic, TRF, that could be right, yeah? That's good, right? The movie or show, doesn't matter. I like the show, I like the movie too. Yeah? There are also other factors to impact this variable. So for you, for everybody, should include most of that variable after discussion, right? You can use the Excel statistics or use the simple way is ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT, they will tell you which variable probably most significant, right? Then you get a result. Can you show me your result for Excel statistics, yeah, for this logistic regression? Do you have output? Yeah. So then you interpret, right? You interpret the result. Yeah. So it's clear, right? You need to lay out your formula. Then you do this, you work. Then you interpret. Yeah. So we are to 14 teller, right? Your grandma use the crystal ball. We use standard model, right? So which model we use, right? So you need to lay out. After that, you done the analysis, then you interpret the outcome. Yeah. Then you develop your argument. This is movie you should make, right? Yeah. What kind of movie? Sport movie or the war movie? Yeah. Or that's all, right? If you just only 3 variables, it's not convincing. You know what I mean, right? You should put all of them.
Netflix is in more than 130 countries present worldwide. That's why we decided to go in general, because it's gonna take more than 20 minutes to be specific if we discuss about which country, which gender, which title. That's the reason why
We are doing business analysis, right? The worst thing is you give a biased result, yeah, and you cost your boss lots of money, then you fire, yeah. So that's why you need doing more variable, make your result convincing, yeah. So that's why you should include all the variable in your function formula.
The problem in our data set, we don't have the direct. So yes, as you said, we could have taken the country, but like we don't have the direct. So that's why in the logistic calculation.
Also, they have a director, also have a major actor, actress.
Yeah, so that is not available in the data set which we downloaded from. So these are the lines that we have.
Okay.
So that's why I.
So this is not like a good data for you to do complete research to get to the conclusion.
Again, the conclusion of the objective of the presentation was not to figure out which director was good or which title was good.
So what's your outcome? I cannot see your outcome.
The gender. That's the main focus.
What's the coefficient for gender? You need a coefficient, right? You need to get this number, yeah? Where does it come from? From Excel statistics, right? You interpret why this is significant. Yeah, you need to output somewhere. You know what I mean? So what's your Excel statistics output for that coefficient? Yeah, in order to interpret, otherwise it's not convincing. Yeah. So which is a Gerard, the coefficient. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. I will study your report, get the final result. Okay, guys, right? Yeah. So make sure for your any work before you do, you understand what you're doing. Yeah. Right now you have powerful tools for ChatGPT. You can ask them. Yeah. Very simple, right? And they're able to help you identify what's the significant variable for such things for moving. Yeah. And then you're doing, simple use Python statistics, and you on your next week final exam, you need to lay out what's your formula for logistic regression, what's your formula for support vector machine, what's the formula for Liu base, right? Yeah. After the analysis, you need to interpret what does it mean. What does k equals 3 mean? What does the 3 color mean for your manager, for your business, right? Yeah, and what's the output for this logistic regression? And what's the beta coefficient? Why is this significant, right? Yeah, so this way you can convince your boss. You spend $10 million for movie, right? Which movie you should make? Yeah, make short movie. Oh, you short movie. Even what the lobby, yeah. Every short movie is a big money or long movie. I don't know. Depending on your, JRF also depend on your the actor, actress, right? Depend on your the technology too. Yeah. So you have to convince yourself that's the right outcome, right? Before you sue your boss. Okay? Clear? So let's give a big hand for team 1. So that's a presentation for team 1. Yeah. And then team 2 ready. Okay? Make sure you are, it's analysis, right? You analyze problems forward. Okay, so you have a computer, right? Yeah. Okay, and then make sure you have a computer. Okay, try, yes. HTML, yeah. Okay, you guys submit evaluation, right? To Kim the one? Okay, that's good. Good for Kim. Now you may start. All the concern good. Now you have to show us what you have done. Okay. Again, right? You guys be quiet when this is the presenter, right? Small room and you can make noise. You need to respect the audience, not the speaker. Yeah, please. Okay, you may start.
Wait, we're setting up.
There you go. So this is 14. Right below. There you go. And then you just do
Ready? Sure, wait, sorry. It's not connecting.
What's the problem?
The presentation. What has happened? Hindi dito. Nababad na ako.
Okay, so what's wrong?
It's not connected to the school Wi-Fi.
What's this? What's purpose for this computer?
Let's do it. Okay. it's
Okay,
working.
good. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We're Group 2, and today we will be presenting the IBM employee retention. All right, so first of all, introduction. So, employee turnover is a pervasive problem in the corporate world, basically. And replacing an employee, as per research, can cost up to 20% of their salary, which is quite a costly procedure for companies. That's why we did a study. Importance of prioritizing employee retention in the competitive job market is very important. That's why HR analytics involves using data analysis and machine learning techniques. This is what we use to gain insights into the workforce behavior informed in the decision making. So, our purpose is to analyze the IBM HR analytics employee attrition and performances data set. This is to help us understand the factors contributing to employee retention and attrition. And this will further help us identify the main factors that leads to attrition. And it could also help us develop predictive models to identify employees at risk of attrition. So, our scope. Basically, the scope of this research is to analyze the IBM HR Analytics employee attrition and performance data set that was given to us. This is to identify the main factors that can lead to employee attrition and how they vary across different factors such as genders, distance from work, and all that kind of stuff. So this study also aims to develop a predictive model to identify employees at risk of attrition and provide recommendations for effective and retention strategies. So, our hypothesis. What are the main factors that contribute to employee attrition? Second is, how do these factors vary from different employee groups, such as, like what I said a while ago, such as age, gender, and job? Third is, can we predict models to be developed to identify employees at the risk of attrition and provide recommendations for retention strategies? So, our objectives. Our objectives with this project is to identify the main factors, as what we said with the hypothesis, to employee attrition using the IBM Analytics employee attrition and performance dataset. This is to examine how these factors may vary across and to help a predictive model that can help employees at risk. And this is to also provide insights and recommendation. What we did is we used what we have been taught in this class, such as clustering, XL, the use of ChatGPT, and all that kind of stuff. Which brings us to our background research. So, first of all, the the IBM HR dataset. So the IBM HR analytics,
Yeah, that happens.
right?
You disconnect it,
Yeah,
disconnect
just
and
the USB.
reconnect.
Yeah, disconnected and reconnected. No,
Reconnected.
from your computer. So like the connection, like the USB, just yeah.
Then reconnect it to the wall.
There you go.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So for the background research, sorry. Okay. So the data set that we gathered is available in Kaggle, and it's a collection of employee data into understanding the factors that contribute to employee attrition. So number 2 is effective retention strategies. This is
There you go.
okay. This is understanding the factors.
Okay, just tell me, I know this is bumbo jumbo. How many rows, how many columns get to the point?
All right. It should be
Yeah,
this one. Discuss over the methodology.
we know that, yeah.
So discussing
Save some time.
So the data set we gathered have 1470 observations and 35 variables. So this provides us a lot of information like what are the factors contributing with the employee attrition. This also provides us exploration regarding the correlation between job satisfaction and other metrics that was used on our analysis. It also enabled us to identify the problems and also finally provide a recommendation to the company to improve job retention. So the tools we use Tableau for data visualization. Then for k-means and clustering, we use Python. For linear regression and logistics regression, we use Excel and Excel stat. So my colleagues will further explain what we did and how we interpret the results and what are the final recommendations will be discussed along the way.
I have used this basic data visualization to have a better understanding of all the things. Okay. So here I used employee count, employee turnover rate, and the rate employee active in every age to have a basic knowledge about the data set. So here we have a 1,470 total count, and the turnover rate who left the job are 237, and its exact 16.12%. And active employees are 1233, and the average age is this. So out of the total 237, I have segregated the both, like how many males or females have left the job. So here's it. This is attrition count. Out of the 237, 87 females and rest are the males. So we'll go for the next departmental attrition. Like we have 3 departments: HR, R&D, and sales. Which one has the maximum attrition rate? So I have explained this all by using the pie chart. So by using the pie chart, sales department has the maximum attrition rate, like it's 133, and the least is HR department is 12. So by this, one can easily consider that why sales department has the maximum attrition rate. One can directly go to the HR department to find out the reasons. What are the basic? Is there any trouble with the policies and all? The next is employee count by age. I have used a filter over here, the age bin of the 3. For our own comfort, we can increase the age bin to, like from 3 to 7. Here I have used age bin of 3. So in this, employees count by age, like we can, if you know about this, in which age section we have the maximum employees. So in this, we have at the age of 33, we have a maximum employees of 213. So this is the metrics I have used for the job satisfaction. I have used the metric like rating 1 to 4. 1 is the employees with having the least job satisfaction, and the 4 are the ones who have the maximum job satisfaction. So in this department, you can easily come to know that sales executives have the maximum number of employees that are the most satisfied ones, and these are the least ones to have the least satisfaction, followed by the laboratory technicians. So next is education-wise attrition. Every employee is from the different background, like life sciences, medical, marketing, technical, and other, and HR. So in this, we came to know like life sciences employees have the maximum attrition rate. So with this, or overall, we came to know that with this kind of education background, still we have the maximum attrition rate. So here we go, the next one, GM. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so for K-means clustering, we use Python because it is more accurate than Excel stat, as well as it's visually represented the results well. And of course, we want the extra grades, just like team number 1, they use Python. So here, we have identified that the number of clusters is actually 3. K means number of clusters. So this part, we actually use Excel stat for the purpose of determining what is the mean and standard deviation. For monthly rate, it is actually minimum of 2,000 and maximum of 26,000. And years and company, this is their pay. At IBM, is actually 40 is the maximum. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually a superficial data, the one that we gathered from Kaggle.com. There were 3 clusters, right? So 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, the higher their stay at the company, 13 years, their monthly income is actually 16,000. And then the minimum, or actually the third cluster is 3,000 and then 5 years in the company. So what does it mean by this clustering? So, for example, if I am the business analyst or I am part of the training team, I will come up with training related to these people because they are actually going to leave the company if you're not going to train them. So the training includes how to ace the job, how to be promoted to get higher earnings, as well as for the first cluster, the highly paid ones and staying in the company for the longest time, how to have a work-life balance. So it really depends on the HR team how they will address the issue. And by the way, when you say P means clustering, this is unsupervised data, so you don't really need to control this one, but it actually the data is actually represented based on the data set. So meaning to say, the analysis part, you have to come up with your action plans. So in let's say, professor has a YouTube channel. What you see in the YouTube analytics is actually how well you will create videos based on the demographics, based on the interest, based on the country. Because as you can see in your YouTube analytics dashboard, there are data that will be helpful for you to improve your channel. So it's the same thing with IBM HR. They will always use this data to address the employee attrition. As we said, it's very costly. So thank you guys.
Hello everyone, I'm Suraj. I'm going to be talking about linear regression and how the analysis we were able to come up with using this data. As you know, linear regression allows us to predict the value of a variable using another variable. And in our data set, we have 2 variables, independent variables. In independent variables, we have work-life balance, which has categories of bad, good, better, and best. So in order to use the linear regression, we have assigned the values of 1, 2, 3, and 4 to those. And the next category, second variable, is number of years an employee has spent in the same role. And the range is 0 to 12 years. So these are the independent variables, and the dependent variable is attrition. So when we use this data, we are able to see that the attrition between the attrition and the work-life balance, we are seeing a very strong relationship. As the work-life balance is getting stronger, the number of employees staying at the organization is really high. So this shows that there is the employees who are having a strong, good work-life balance, they are more likely to stay at the organizations, and we can, if the organization is focused on retaining employees, they should really work on promoting the work-life balance. And when we look at the attrition and years an employee has spent in the same role, we see a moderately positive curve. This shows that as the number of years an employee spent in the same role where they haven't gotten any promotion or they haven't gotten a new role, new opportunity, most likely they are going to leave the organization. As you can see, the number of people leaving is rising and the number of years current role is increasing. To summarize the data, we have seen in total of 1470 observations, and we have seen there's no missing data, and the mean value is 0.161 for attrition, and for years in current role is 4.229, and for work-life balance is 2.761. We were able to generate this data from Excel stack, and before I'll just show you the formula.
Yeah. So can you define what you mean by nutrition? Attrition.
Attrition is attrition is like whether they would like to stay in the organization or they are going to move for they are going to leave the organization.
It's a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. So show us a linear regression formula. How do you do that?
Okay. So here, why this represents the dependent variable. This is our attrition, and this is function, and x is the independent variable. We have taken two independent variables.
Yeah.
One is the number of
Year,
balance,
yeah.
and another is number of years an employee spent in the same role. And this is number of parameters. So we have like 1470 observations,
Okay.
and these are like letters. But we don't have to memorize the formula. I would say, as long as we know what linear
Well, you have
regression
to
does.
when you have interview, right? You have to tell you interviewer what's your formula for linear regression, yeah? Which is we told a million times, right? You have a two, right? You need to lay out your formula, yeah? And the question for you, this is a variable, attention yes or no?
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Then you do this one, it's not the right formula for you to do linear regression. Yeah? Because linear regression is both x, y must be numerical variable like that. Yeah? So it's not the right formula to do this problem. Unless this is linear regression. You could put your year of that one as a depend how long you stay there as a y, then you add the variable, right? And you also only identify for two is two letters for real case, yeah? Who affecting why you quit the company? Many reasons. Yeah, the salary, the satisfaction, and also probably your mom or your baby, yeah? And you also have other variables, yeah? So this you need to identify as much as possible. But that's fine. So let's show you a logistic regression, right? That's the right formula to do it, yeah?
So this one
Is
is
that clear, right? The linear regression, x and y must both numerical variables. Yeah, so A is how many years experience, right? Then you have a linear regression. If binary class variable is not right for linear regression, can be logistic regressions.
So that was about linear regression. My colleague Lucy is gonna explain her analysis based on logistic regression. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that suggestion. For logistic regression, we would like to determine other factors that closely link with employee attrition apart from the variables that was considered in linear regression. So we ran the logistic regression in order to predict the output based on the values of the independent variables. So in this case, we have considered the dependent variable of attrition as yes, equivalent to 1, and then 0 equivalent to no. Means that yes, people like employees left the company, and 0 that employees who stayed in the company. While our independent variables are education, performance rating, work-life balance, years in current role, and overtime. So to share our findings, we have used the standardized coefficient graph. So as you can see on the screen, it can be observed that overtime has positive standard coefficient of 0.33. The model suggests that overtime is another factor or a predictive to employee attrition, meaning when employees are more working, more hours, then they are more likely to leave the company. So this suggests, like in the company, that they should have to develop strategies that would help the employee to have a satisfaction with work. So basically, over time, it could be due to the factors of overworkload, job dissatisfaction, and poor work-life balance, which can be connected to the result that we have taken from the linear regression. To test our model, so we have considered the ROC curve and the area under the curve, which represents the overall performance of our model in distinguishing positive and negative cases. So the result we got is 0.721, which means that the model suggests it has a moderate predictive power to employee attrition. So it can be considered that the insight and the model that we have used is considered acceptable.
And lastly, for recommendations. So, first of all, we recommend for them to have a benchmark. So the company should conduct benchmarking to determine if the company is providing wages that is in the industry average for them to be competitive and for them to attract employees in terms of attrition. Next is for them to monitor turnover rates. This is to monitor the line of managers turnover as if it is necessary to revisit the organizational structure for efficiency and providing management training for them to yet again attract attrition. And the third is the impacts of employee turnover. This is to clearly articulate the long-term vision of the company of how those young people fit into that vision, the new employees as well, and providing incentives in the form of clear paths of promotions that can help also retain those employees. And lastly, to identify and support employees. This is from our study to provide support for employees who live further in their homes, such as company transportation and allowances, and to also identify employees between 5 to 8 years of experience and compare those with those who hit their two-year anniversary, who has a higher risk of leaving and taking the appropriate actions to study that and having them retained. And conclusion. So our conclusion is that the data visualization using Tableau helped us identify the pattern and trends that could be not be seen to the raw data that was provided in Kaggle. This Tableau dashboard shows us the distribution of employees across different departments. And the clustering or unsupervised learning using Python helped us identify the groups of employees that were more likely to leave the company. And the classification learning using Python and Excel helped us develop the predictive models that could identify the employee at risk at attrition and provide recommendations for retention strategies. And this, all in all, gave us the insights and recommendations to provide the recommendations provided by us, the group, that could be valuable to the company itself, that looks to improve employee satisfaction, engagement, and reduce attrition rates. So that is all. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is a typical HR problem. Employee attrition rate. So this team have done good research. Yeah, given the data, the method not convincing, but we're talking crazy. Yeah, that's a very important communication skill, right? So let me get to the bottom of your new measure for logistic regression. What is your logistic regression result? Output.
So, on logistic regression, we have found out that
We are not a fortune teller, right? You go to mom, you go to fortune teller. We have to get a conclusion from result, yeah? Interpret the result. So what's your output for Excel statistics for logistic regression? They should have an output.
So the insight or the findings that we have for logistic regression, you mean? Because on logistic regression, we have found out that over time.
So this is logistic regression formula, right?
Yes.
So you all these variable, how many dependent variable? Independent 5. You should have a coefficient for each of the variable from output. You should have a table for that.
Oh, okay. We didn't include on that in our presentation.
Well, this is a fortune teller. You need everything interpreted from your output. See which is significant, right? Whether it's satisfaction is the most important, or the salary most important, or the experience most important, right? Right now, this is a new data result supporting you with this kind of a statement. You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
So everything has to come from your analysis.
But
And
it should be included in the analysis.
from your
The
output,
report.
from your analysis, right?
Right.
Nowadays, chatbot, ChatGPT to make it very easy. Yeah.
Yes.
You just specify the data set, what's a column, they will give you a result right away. They also show which one was significant, right? The p-value things. If less than 5 is significant, otherwise not significant. Then you interpret that result to make conclusion.
All right.
Okay? Otherwise, fortune teller.
Okay.
Right?
You don't want to be.
You don't want fortune teller. That's what mom doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do
They
it.
get paid less.
This is analysis. Okay? Okay, make sure all your conclusion recommendation need to be satisfied by your analysis. Okay, from your output. Okay, make sure you lay out your formula and also output from Python or from Excel. Then you integrate the output. Okay, then you support your conclusion. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other question for team number 2?
No, no, sir.
Good, very good. Yeah. Good. Team 3, are you ready? Team 3. So we have a total of 5 teams, right? Team 5. Let's save some time. Okay.
Tunggu sampai tadi ya.
You got only one computer? No? You should have 2 computers, yeah? Okay, you can try it right now. I hope that'll work, yeah? Moving HR problem, very interesting, right? Yeah. You can apply the job. And notice. With that? With that? For you, for you on read. I'm not checking your email. Did I get your email?
30 minutes after you told me that I didn't attach it, I sent it back.
Oh, okay. I already attached it, I think. I already attached your report. If I'm not, I will let you know. Can you see your report there? Yeah. Okay, you guys be fast, yeah? Otherwise, some guy will push us out. The next class, I have final exam. Okay, go ahead. Show us what do you have?
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will be discussing about the impact of online and offline shopping after the COVID-19 era. As a great philosopher once said, change is the only constant in this life. The COVID-19 has brought in a lot of changes in how world works and how everything works, especially the market and the businesses around. So these are our vendors, teammates, and we are discussing about the objectives, the data sets, payments clustering, data visualization, classification, and finding the consumer. Problem statement. The COVID-19 has significantly changed the consumer buying behaviors and how consumers buy. There is a rise in the platforms like Temu is a new significant market which is grabbing a lot of market in the present time. And we'll also be discussing about the changes in the customer behavior, which is crucial for the businesses to survive in the competitive world. The major objectives of this research was to analyze the change in consumer behavior toward the online shopping and offline shopping, majorly we focus on online shopping. And we compare and contrast the online and offline shopping trends before and during the pandemic. We identified the factors that influence the shift in shopping habits. Similarly, we examined the impact of COVID-19 on different industries and regions. We even identified challenges and opportunities for retailers and businesses in adapting to the changing shopping habits. And finally, we provided recommendations to businesses on how to adopt the new shopping trends. Now, let's call on trends for the.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone. I would like to explain about the methodology of our project, that is the data visualization, which is showing our data in a graphical representation. We have done it clustering as grouping the similar data. We have done a k-means using Python. Then the classification, which is again organizing those data. We have done it through the distribution tree and heat mapping, that is also again using Python. Dataset collection. We have collected our data from the cable.com and we had 1,011 data with 15 variables. These are the variables: name, profession, age, COVID-19 shift to online shopping habit, then pandemic boost scope for the online shopping, pandemic shift hurts online retailers, spending habits, frequency of online shopping, duration in-store visits, typical online purchases, typical in-store purchases, satisfaction with online and satisfaction with offline. The major important thing that I would like to say is that the data that we collected is certain norm, it's an alphabet data, that is non-numeric data. So our major task was to convert this into numeric data, which will make us to do the analysis easier. So we have changed those non-numeric data into numeric data by using the Excel formulas. And these are the, for example, the age. The age from 18 to 24, we have named it as 0, 25 to 30 as 1, and 31 to 40 as 2, 41 to 50 as 3, above 51 as 4. This goes with all the 15 variables. These are the variables that we have taken.
Hello, sir. So now our data visualization. We have used Tableau for our data visualization. We have done like 13 individual visualization, but the main visualization which I am going to talk about will be the next slide. So first we have done the online shopping by the age group. So here you can
just connect and we do it.
from
Yeah, very.
So by online shopping, we have discovered that from 18 to 24 age group people were the most into online shopping, and the least one was the 51 age group, where the only 13 candidates were using online shopping. I think the reason because of this is most older people don't use mobiles or do online things. They rather prefer to go in store and purchase things. So this is the case. Then another we have done is shopping preference. So with the candidates, we have discovered that online shopping, there were 533 candidates do online shopping, and in store they go 478. So here we can see, like after pandemic, the online shopping has increased and in store shopping has decreased. So next slide, please. Thank you. Then we have done the measurement of how often they do online shopping. So here we can see most of the people do weekly online shopping and monthly online shopping, and there are very few people who do once in a 3 month or 6 months like that. And then we have also measured the time, how much time they do online shopping. So here we can see like most of the people spend like 1 to 3 hours do online shopping, and 10 to 30 minutes were like 345 candidates, just 10 to 30 minutes. And I do it all like they do it all the time. Like most of the time, like do very often online shopping was 5-8% people. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here is like the satisfaction level. We have compared like online shopping and offline shopping satisfaction level. So Here
Which one better?
Yeah. So here we can see like most of them satisfied. Like here, online shopping was satisfaction level was 326, like very satisfied in the tableau. And here you can show in offline the 401 candidate were very 338, 32 candidates were very satisfied. So comparing the numbers, we can see the offline shopping are the people who are more satisfied, because in online sometimes you get the defective pieces or your size won't fit. So that kind of issue has made them less satisfied with that. So next slide please. Then I have to dashboard and compare the offline and online purchases. So here you can see like most of the people use clothing for the online shopping, and for an offline shopping, most of the people use grocery. So mostly people go buy grocery at the store rather than ordering from online, as you know that they might give some defective pieces or expired products. So most of the people use grocery as their offline preference. Okay. So next slide. Then my friend will continue.
Yeah, so over here we have done the image clustering. So the pandemic boost work for online shopping. So yeah, we know that after the pandemic, like most people were attracted towards the of online shopping. So zero means yeah they were, and one means they think that they were still not attracted towards the online shopping. They were not using the product. So over here, all are the items that can be purchased from online things, roughly electronics, clothing, whatever they wanted, business related furniture, sports equipment. We have renamed that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 14. So over here, we can look at the people who agree that the pandemic has changed the lifestyle of shopping. So they used to purchase all the things like groceries, electronics, clothing, sports equipment, footwear, medicine, and supplements, whatever they wanted. But there were some people they still prefer.
So which tool is output? Python or?
This is Python.
So where's the elbow graph?
We tried it.
Without the elbow, how do you know this three classes?
Yeah, three clusters we got it from the ChatGPT. Like we have also made a demo and we have submitted in a PDF file that how all the codes we have got it. So with the codes we
Well, you
have
have to show your elbow, right? ChatGPT can forever. You don't know whether it's K is 3 or not, right? You need to show your elbow. Yeah.
So yeah, and still there were some people who still believe that online shopping was not that common, but still they used to purchase some products like groceries, electronics, clothing, and furniture, but they didn't purchase like these people. So over here we are comparing two things: pandemic shift sales for offline retailers. As we know that most people were attracted towards online, so that's definitely going to hurt the offline retailers. So over here we see what were the factors the people were converted to the online sellers. So these are the factors that it is easier. You can get more products. You can it is time efficiency. Online offers more discount, safer, safety. It is easier to get the same product at affordable prices. So the people who agree that's over here. So they are listed all the reasons. So out of 14, 12 of the reasons were listed over here. So yeah, they were more satisfied with the online sellers than the offline sellers. And still there were people who used to buy from the offline. They have listed only some of the reasons for it. Yeah, so these were all the what I told about insight from the gaming clustering which we got it. Yeah, so now we have worked on the decision tree. Like the data which we had was 111. So in that the data was a type of a survey which was taken from a different type of people in the Canada. So yeah, it's a type of a raw data, like we can trust that data. We got it from the Kaggle. So over here, what we did is the x-axis represents various factors. So on x-axis we have taken some factors like online shopping, like what proportion the people are working in the survey which they are with, how much shift was done in the online, what are the frequency, like how many times we are using the online website to do shopping, are you a typical in-store purchaser, like do you purchase on store purchases, satisfaction while online shopping, like how much satisfaction you are getting it, like are you fully satisfied or not. So again we are taking that factor also, and the factor behind using online shopping, like what are the reasons you are going for the online shopping. So these are the factors which we have taken on the x-axis, and on the y-axis the factor which we took is pandemic scope for online shopping. So like what happened that there was a sudden boost in the online shopping. So over here when we are
look at the true positive, then we got it as a 155. We have taken the data out of 20%. Like there was a data of 111. 20% becomes 203. So out of this, true positive was 155. So it is say that yeah, people were satisfied with the online and they have shifted to online from the offline. So yeah, again we have taken.
So tell us, what's your why? What's your dependent variable? Try to find out.
We were trying to find out like are they really shifting, because the data which we got from the survey, like it was like out of 111 we got 578 people who were shopping online and approximately 438 people who were shopping offline. So it was not that a major difference that we can understand. Yeah, are really people satisfied with the online thing? So yeah.
So your why is satisfaction
Yeah.
survey.
So yeah.
So how many value for this why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Like one is satisfied, not also.
Why is satisfied or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0
Okay.
was not satisfied. Then 1 was very satisfied. Then 2 was yeah.
5 is the all very satisfied.
Yeah, very satisfied.
So that is from there, okay?
Yeah.
Then how many X you put in?
Yes.
How many independent variables you put in?
Yeah, there were many.
How many of them?
Like what are the habits, like what we are purchasing from these
Yeah.
websites?
Okay.
Like what are the people like at what pace we are going to purchase?
How many of them?
Huh?
How many of them?
200. Like out of 1,000 data, we took
Okay.
200. 20% of the data.
X minus 2. Let's end.
Yeah.
How many of these independent variables you put in on this formula? 200.
20% of the data.
How many column? How many column? That's why, right? When you talk about the data, you have to tell me how many row, how many column. Yeah?
50.
15. That's correct. Yeah. How many is something wrong? Yeah. So you know, that's why everyone tell me how many column, how many row. Yeah. So the 15. Okay, good enough. Go. Show me a result. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So
So where's your tree?
like we got the
Confusion metric. Where's your tree?
again we were.
This isn't a tree. You have to show the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like confusion matrix we were.
This is
Like what are the true positive figures and what are the true negative figures? We were looking for that, and we are given the explanations also.
So how many data you put in your training? How many in testing?
How many data?
Yeah.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
So
1,011.
how
Yeah.
many training? What's the percentage you put training? How many you put test? In order to generate this confusion matrix.
So for confusion, 1,000 data was there, and we have taken the 20% of the 1,000 data. That means 200.
So that means 200.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 20% of test.
Yes, sir.
This is confusion matrix, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the result of your accuracy?
Yeah. So what we got is like this is again another graph. Like yeah, what we got is like a true positive was 120 out of 200.
I know. What's the accuracy?
40.
Accuracy.
Accuracy. 80%.
Why you need to calculate it? Yeah. This
Actually,
is
we are given it in our PDF.
why you need it. This is 140, 150, but you guys cannot add up. Totally, yeah, it's 200, yeah? Okay, so you did add this up, yeah?
Yeah.
124 divided by 200. Yeah, what's that, right? This is, you see your manager. You have to show your manager. This doesn't matter to them.
It's 64%.
Yeah, 64% accuracy.
64%.
Okay, that's good. That's enough. You have time.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I
that's
would
okay.
answer for it. Like we were able to find out.
So what's the next method?
So the next matter, yeah, so this was the slides and so we did the heat mapping.
So, firstly, what the heat map is? Heat map is the graphical representation of the data which we are going to analyze, and we use color-coded cells so that sometimes when the data is too large, it is difficult to analyze the data through tables and charts. That's why heat map is used. So, in heat map, there are two variables. So, we decide the magnificancy and the correlation between these two variables. For example, if we take the variable of age and
Oh, the cutoff. This is not required. This data visualization is not data analysis. Yeah. So you missed the second method. This is not a classify. You need a two classify. This is a visualization, TV. You have done wonderful work on the TV already.
We wanted to show the connection between these variables, how
I'm looking for your second classify. Do you have it? No? So you're missing one. Sorry. Right? You're missing one. This is belong to data visualization. You have done wonderful work with the Tableau. That's good. You really get 100%.
we did the heat map.
Yeah, okay.
If we are solving a business problem and we want to know which factor affect the
This is
other
a fortune
factor,
teller.
like-
This is okay. It's fine, but you need to do it inside the analysis.
Okay, Professor, maybe we did a mistake, but the purpose of doing the heat map is we wanted to see, like,
We didn't teach you heat map. Heat map.
that's
Why you
what
show it to heat map? It's
we took
not heat
help,
map.
we took help of
Yeah.
ChatGPT, and we all decided that it would be a great thing. But we thought if you are a business
So
analyst,
which tool generated this map?
we all did it together.
By what? By which tool? Python method.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, that's fine. It's good. You can follow for TV work, right? Which is only small portion, but you're missing one classifier. You have decision tree only 64, very low accuracy. Okay, so what's your conclusion?
So we wanted to. We
Doesn't
wanted
matter. You
to
got
find-
100% on this one. Okay? I give 100%. I give you 100 for TV work. Okay, so you happy. So what's your what's the next 100%?
Conclusion.
Conclusion.
next
Yeah.
is
What's your conclusion?
So with all this analysis, we can see that there is a great shift in the online sales just because after the COVID there was so much restrictions on the location. The people cannot go out of the house, and there were health measures also. That's why people went for online shopping. And the payment method, we have seen that payment method is also changed just to ensure that there is a contactless payment method, so that people don't have to touch the cash, which can increase the effect of COVID. And people are doing online shopping because it is very convenient. They don't have to go outside. And there will be a recommendation if there is an offline business which want to increase its sales after the COVID-19. What they can do is, our analysis told us that people prefer physical touch before buying something because there is a less satisfaction. The satisfaction while buying online things is less. So people can use that thing. The business can use it as a tool and make the experience better. When the customer visit in a store, they can make the experience physical touch better and increase their offline sales. If I have my offline business, then I use the physical touch thing which is missing in the online business. So that's my recommendation for an offline business.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know why you're so excited. I cannot say anything excited, right? Yeah. So remember, right? I'm going to ask you 7 questions. You have to answer it.
Yes.
You cannot put all your time for one question. You know, that is wonderful work for data visualization with Tableau, with heat map. That only get 50%. Right? You're missing, the classify, the second classify, the first classify is not convincing. Right? Now you have to use show the result. Then based on the result, interpret the result, then you get a conclusion. Otherwise, put together. Do any justify. Right? Make sure you look clearly about your formula. Yeah? What's your Y? What's your X? Right? Why you convert the age to different group? Why not just use age? Yeah?
Yes.
So can you answer? Why you divide age from age group?
Because age, so most of the people are focusing on the age, like how many people are using. Like if we are the group, we are between the age of 18 to 24, we will go for more online shopping. And between of age of 30 to 40, they will go less.
So you need
So
to
we are the
justify,
company.
right? So this you can put age as your formula, yeah. But you need to put you can group it. It's why you do that, right? You need to justify, okay? So make sure it's very clear, right? So when you're doing your final exam, you need to spend equal effort for each of the questions, yeah. And if you're missing one, I cannot give you. If you're missing only one, classify, and decision tree, you're missing one. I cannot give you any grade, right? So make sure you follow the instruction. Okay? Always focus on the data. How many row, how many column, right? That's your data. Right? Then you see what's formula you apply for this data, right? You need to see what's in Y, what's in X. Yeah, can be logistic regression, can be linear regression, right? When you linear regression, right, must be both numerical variable Y. If Y is a classification variable, right? The wrong method. Is that clear? You have to be very clear. Nowadays, the detailed work can be done by ChatGPT, but you have to know that this formula. And what's your X, what's your Y? Why you do that, right? Yeah, that you are doing business analysis. Okay, good. Thank you very much for the team. Okay. Yeah. Was passed. We don't know yet. Because every team aware, just like if you could grade, maybe, yeah. We don't know yet. Okay, let's see. Is the last team or team 4, right? Yeah. Yeah. Please. Yeah, okay, hang up, right? Nice. Yeah. So this is team 4, right? Yeah. Then we have team 5. Do we have team 5? Yeah, team 5. No, it's team 4. I remember. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay, well, we have time. Yeah, get to the point. I mean, so when you send me email, send forward the email to me again. Sometimes the email from online, yeah, and I will fix it. Forward the email to me again. Okay. Yeah, I love to see the data set. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, guys. The team, last team could be best. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 7 people? Yes. Oh my God, that's my number. That's good. Save our time. Good.
Hi everyone, this is team 4. We had DoorDash as our assignment. So DoorDash is an online startup which started in 2013 and went live for like now it's been like 10 years. It's running and it is one of the biggest startup in the food market industry nowadays because you can order food online by being at home or you can select pickups. So basically, what are the relevance and uses of this research for DoorDash is they are now know their behavior, customer behaviors, how they are selecting food, what food they are ordering, what restaurant they are selecting to order food. So basically, it all leads to customer behavior and how it changes with the pandemic. And this is it. So my other team members will explain how what are the data related to it. Thank you.
Hello. My topic is data set. For collecting the data for DoorDash, I use Kaggle, and there are different type of collection like number of drivers, number of consumers, and we also collect data about the date and time when they order and when they get their order, and there are total 115 rows and 16 columns. And according to this row data, we divide the data in different categories like number of new driver and old drivers, and then we divide a number of tip, how many tips they get from the customer, like less than 10 or more than 10, and how much discount the restaurant offer to them. And according to that the data, I compared the consumer with the drivers and the number of discount they get on the product, and how much that tip they get from the customer. It is a parallel if restaurant offer more discount, then consumer ready to pay more tip to their drivers. And similar with this, if DoorDash find they have more number of consumers, then they try to hire more drivers. So there are different new drivers as well as old drivers.
Hi everyone. Okay, what is the DoorDash background? It's the background of this DoorDash company. 10 years ago, the DoorDash was founded by the four person who were the students of Stanford University. Actually, they were finding the ways how to overcome the problems of small business owners uh, to overcome the problem that how they are unable to delivering the goods to the customers properly. And then Tony XU, Andy Frank, Stanley Tang, and even Murray, they all were developing a technology in a bakery in Palo Alto, California, in America. And in the beginning, they gave name to this company as a Palo Alto delivery, and after that, the company got the name as DoorDash, and it is well-known company in all around the world, and now it is available in 27 countries. Uh, and in 2015, it is launched in Canada also, and in December 2020, it became a public company, uh, and it generated revenue about 6.583 billion US dollars in 2020. In 2022, okay, this is it has a strong competition with its competitors. In food delivery, sale was a 57% in market share, and it serves around 20 million consumers nowadays. And as we can see in this picture, and like as compared to other delivery platforms, DoorDash has a 100% services, provide services from 2018 to 2021.
So now that we have the data set and all those stuff, the next step is to how do we use this data ahead? So first we have to discuss the data, what exactly is the data about, and we have to classification, we have to clear the data as well, and for that we'll use tools that is Tableau as well as k-means regression in Excel, and we use supervised learning for that as well. So this will further help us. So the data which we have collected will further we use for we'll get to know how many customers did order from on the online restaurant and which prefer much more from offline instead.
So where is your Tableau work? Can you show Tableau work right away? Yeah.
For Tableau, I will Brian will give settings.
For this graph,
You will face to the audience, yeah. Okay, good.
this bar graph shows the most popular
delivery regions for DoorDash, Mountain View, and Palo None is also an option. It shows here that Palo Alto did best, having 837 deliveries, and Mountain View having 640. For this one, this is consumers versus average of our total. For this one, the customer ID here 157073 would have made the most orders for DoorDash. This particular graph could be used to help the organization to know exactly which customers will be purchasing their product the most, on which one that they need to focus their maybe some discounts and promotions on towards in order to get a greater
So this
greater sales.
many pictures.
Yeah, these are the amount of orders that were made by each customer. So these are all the customers, and this one made the majority purchase. Total sum of amount of discounts for each customer. It shows here that customer 514 would have used the most discounts in the company. This would show DoorDash that they could maybe continue to, for this particular customer, to continue to give them more discounts and just to help retain customers, help with customer loyalty and stuff.
Okay, so now we have the delivery by region. I'm using the driver's ID. So we have it by the color here. So this is Mountain View, and we have Palo Alto, and then we have the other option here, none. It shows here that this distribution, this pie chart here shows the distribution of the deliveries in various areas.
Okay, good, very good job. Okay, let's go to you, Kim In. Give you very good job. Okay, give you a very good grade. Let's do Kim In. What do you Kim In?
So we use K-mean clustering. So because we select the data, we had the value of K as 2, and then further on we did clustering on the basis of number of objects, some of which with clusters, and
so how did you get this elbow?
So we got this elbow by applying the method of using ChatGPT. Yeah, we applied it on Excel stat as well, and we can see that this is the point where it actually shows that the clustering is happening. And 3 is
K to B is 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So
how do you interpret these 3 clusters?
Sorry, sir.
How do you interpret these 3 clusters?
So we can iterate we know the exact point. It starts to get a bit of constant. From here we can say starting to going down and shows not decreasing a lot.
No. Go to next.
Okay. So using this K-means method, we can also use clustering centroids. Yeah. So this centroid is nothing but how distinct these values can be from different from the other clusters which you have done. So suppose the value we have should be very closer to 1 and between 1 and minus 1.
How do you interpret the 3 clusters? That's the point, right?
Sorry,
so what do you mean by 3 clusters?
3 clusters.
Yeah.
Do you mean that K is equal to 3?
That is your cluster.
Yeah. So
by high spending or low spending or by region?
Yeah, it is. We decided it by as the region, like who are spending the most in that region and who are spending.
Okay, that's good. So who's next? We try to, because someone maybe come for finding them. So where is your 2 classification? You need two classification. So, good. Now I need two classification.
So the other classification was
Good job. Now this is Kemi. Who are doing classification? So you show some two classification. What does that mean?
so this is tree basis we were talking about. This is other classification.
So why is it decision tree?
Yeah, decision tree.
Okay.
So we use the decision tree first using ChatGPT and we apply the formula and
So you got the output.
Huh?
You got this output.
Yeah. So we use consumer ID and restaurant ID and all those stuff. So we saw that like how many consumers indicate that how many consumers are will be using and will not be using it.
Again, right? This is classification. What's your Y variable you want to study? What's your Y? What's your X?
So Y.
What's your dependent variable?
Dependable is the number of customers.
Number of customers.
Yeah.
It's not right by that one. So how to? If I go to there, what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Go to there. What does it mean? You have to interpret, right?
So like, will they choose for online shopping or not? Will they order it from the data or
This is dash. DoorDash.
Yeah.
DoorDash. Everything is it's online shopping, right?
Like, will they order it online or not? What will be ordered online?
So that's what's problem you try to solve.
Like
From
why?
a decision tree.
So will they prefer ordering it online or not? That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? To me, you study food online because DoorDash is only do delivery online. Yeah. Then you deliver it to the door.
Number of
Huh?
customers.
Make it to also dash.
Right. Yeah.
And you can also go to the restaurant or you can have it delivered.
So why you study that? What does that mean to you to the manager of DoorDash?
So
The number of customers they have.
they want to increase the sales. Like after the pandemic, it wasn't really growing that much. So they want to increase the sales post pandemic.
So you have to be very clear, right? What's your Y? What's your X? You try to solve. Yeah? Otherwise, you get lost. ChatGPT for out of you, right? It's called garbage in, garbage out. Yeah? If ChatGPT easy to for out, you have to be very clear what is the formula. Okay? For you finding them, you write that formula. What's your X? What's your Y? Yeah? What's try to solve? Yeah? Make sure doing linear regression time series, the Y must be numerical, right? Yeah. So okay. So let me count you did where are you? Decision tree by ChatGPT. Actually, you could understand. So what's next? What's second classified? You done. You need to require minimum 2, yeah.
So the other one was like how many tips will be they getting from ordering online and how many and discounts will be they getting online.
By decision tree as well? No, you only one. If I count one, you missing second classified.
Okay, so we are used only amount of tip, like how many tips will be they getting from the consumers.
Right? So basically, you are similar issue with that team. Yeah, you're missing second classified.
The
Even
number of drivers. The number of drivers, new drivers they have, and number of old drivers they have.
we are required 2 classified. Yeah. So how many classified we have learned from this class? How many classified we have learned? What you guys learned?
We divided data in different categories, 2 categories.
Doesn't matter. We need the method. 2 methods to solve the problem. Right? You're missing another one. So we learned 6 of them. Yeah. Linear regression, naive Bayes, support vector machine, logistic regression. You only tried decision tree. That's missing another one. Okay? So Whatever, I give you 100%, you receive half of the 13.4. Okay? So what's your conclusion right now? So what's your conclusion?
So the data analysis research at the end sheds a light on the factors of the influence on the factors that there's a shift of customers going from online to physical shopping, and that businesses may be able to recover from the income loss that is created after the COVID pandemic if they come up with contactless delivery and perfect collection and online ordering and delivery. Also, customers can be offered special discounts only if they come online or place an order online for the food, which is going to be a special discount coupon for them. That's going to increase the sales for DoorDash. Also, if we come to the finding that we have from cluster analysis, it's going to be a little issue that the local business is going to face.
Okay, we're done. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're done. Okay, good. So these are. Make sure, right? You answer all the 7 questions, right? You cannot do this one perfect all the time. You do this one, right? Yeah, and then easy to fail. So this team might be wonderful work on the visualization and also the cleaning is good. Yeah. Okay. Give a feedback for this team. Okay. Good job. Did you?
Yeah.
This one, yeah?
Yeah.
So, okay. So I will handle it, okay? Good.
Today is gonna be
Abby?
Thank you.
Basically, we have sent our Word file in the PPT.
So have you uploaded today? Have you uploaded the file? Okay. That's fine. How about what? Have you submitted what? Okay, so our team this one right away. So you can submit right away.
Okay, sir, we'll do it. I'll do it just right now.
And you are in 52, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll give you an extension for now. You can submit right away.
Yes, sir.
Sir, group 4 also has said the same problem.
Group 4 also has the same problem.
Well, you have resubmitted.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you extra time.
Okay, sir. Give us.
So this one I'll give you, say, due day and 4 o'clock, okay?
Okay, today?
Yeah. So this due day.
Sir, but we have already uploaded in MS. PPT one we have already uploaded.
Okay.
Sir, we have already.
You are the second person uploaded.